let's just get this started. Welcome to Chatterday. My name is Dave_Loudon, and you are listening to episode number 14 of my podcast, where each week I introduce you to a new and awesome small streamer. We talk about their channel, who they are as a person, and if we have time, some different game news throughout the past week. If you are watching this live on twitch.tv/Dave_Loudon, stick around after the interview to watch us play a few hours of games. That's not going to happen, people. Sorry about that. Our guest today...
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to bed after this. But normally on my normal Chatterdays, we spend about 2 or 3 hours playing games after. Our guest today is truly one of a kind. It is the Underdogs115. I wish I could put up applause, but we can't. We need the that work. I mean, that's all I got.
The one and only
The one and only. Oh, I love it, dude. So, how are you? How'd your stream go, by the way? You're just fresh off a stream. How'd it go?
Stream was good. I had to do a short one. I was trying to I wanted to start my stream early tonight.
Yes.
Because I was going to be like, oh, I'll start my stream early tonight, and that way I can still do a full stream and then go do your thing after.
Yeah.
But I ended up getting held at work because I had to deal with a knucklehead at work, and that just kind of held me. I spent an extra hour at work, and I didn't mean to. Yeah, it sucked. I'm not gonna lie. And so I spent an extra hour at work doing like a report and all that. And so after I got out, I still had to eat dinner and all that. And so I was just like, you know what? I'll do a short two hour stream real quick, and then I'll come over and do Dave's thing. And so it was a good stream though. In the 2 hours, we got a lot of cool stuff done. And we had a good turnout for today's stream. So
are you still Minecrafting? Is that what's going on right now?
Yeah. I'm still doing Minecraft. I actually took a break from Minecraft and did some other games like Call of Duty and Rust. But then I realized that I just realized that Minecraft has always been like the game that I've just been the best at out of any game that I play. So just gonna stick with that for a long time.
No, that's cool, man. And it's cool. I think it's good that you took a break from it and went off and did your own thing for a while, because that really, if you get burnt out on one game, it can really be detrimental to your streaming and what you're trying to do here. And it's good that you were able to find a creative way to break off and do some other things and then come back. So I remember even in your Discord when you announced it, I was like, oh wow, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really happy for him. And so
it's exactly, and it's it's just one of those things that, like, if you keep playing a game that you don't like, but you're only playing it because either your community wants you to play it, or the algorithm and Twitch just likes it, or you're just doing it because it benefits your stream. Then it becomes more like a job in reality. Like, if you keep doing something, if you keep playing a game you just don't like, it becomes a lot like a job instead of like a hobby that you like to do on the side. Like, I like doing this because it's a good hobby. It's something I can come home and do, and it's something it's something I eventually want to probably try to do full time. But as somebody who wants to do Twitch, you don't want to do something that's going to feel like a job. So that's kind of like why I had to take a break from it. I was just getting burnt out, and every day I played it, I was just like, dude, I'm not having fun anymore.
Well, well, I feel that, and it's good that you took that break, and now you're coming back to it, and you're just like going for it, my man. Dolphin, by the way, says, "You're my boy, Blue."
Dolphin, you're my boy, Blue.
You're my boy, Blue.
That's one of my mods. That's why. You're my boy, Dolphin.
Wasn't after Blue died in a in a giant pool of KY jelly? Anyways, moving right along.
Which Blue? Are you that old? I don't know what you're talking
old school?
about.
Have you ever seen Old School?
Bro, we're like a generation apart.
Oh, dude, watch yourself some Old School. That's all I gotta say.
You gotta understand, man. You're like
boy, Blue.
Remember when you were with streamers unite, you were like the grandpa.
I was, dude. I got all you whippersnappers into shape, my guy.
That is very true. Dave, the oldie, the wise old man.
I wouldn't call myself wise by any means. I'm just trying to find my way in life like everyone else. I've just come to the realization that I don't give a shit anymore. So I do what I want to do.
Don't we all just not give a single shit anymore?
Well, that's the thing, dude. I think if you spend too much of your life like caring about stuff, you're really gonna you're gonna get too tied up in the things that you don't need to get tied up in. And like especially you just turning 20, fresh off your 21, dude. Which, congratulations on that, by the way.
I'm still 20, by the way.
Oh no way! I thought you were 21.
No, I turned 21 in August.
Oh shit, dude! I just opened up a sore spot there.
Marissa, she actually turns 21 in less than a month,
Oh
and
no.
I'm not gonna have a fun time with that because I'm just gonna take care. I'm just gonna be taking care of her while she's
You're gonna
stumbling
be like,
around.
oh, you're gonna actually take care of her. I was just being like, I'm just gonna sit at
Yeah,
home and
she already told me
stream
she
while
was
she
like,
goes and gets drunk.
yeah, yeah. She's like, no, she's already told me she's like, on my 21st birthday, you are taking care of me, by the way. And I was like,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
I know. I was like, I
Just bring a little
know.
flask with you. It'll be a lot more fun that way. You know what I mean?
Pretty much.
Like, oh yeah, this is soda. Lots of soda.
Yeah,
Extra soda in my
honestly.
soda. Anyway. So no, that'll be fun, man. You'll like it. And but you know, back to my point, like when you're a young kid or like when you're the age you are, it's like I feel like even if when you try not to give a shit, you still kind of give a shit. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
like now I'm getting to the point in my life where I'm just like I truly don't give a shit. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
people come and
honestly,
say
like,
shit to me, and I'm just like, nah, you're stupid. Go away. You know what I mean? I
yeah,
don't give
and
what
it's
people
like
think.
you're like my you know, like when you get to that age where like you're talking to your grandparents and they're just like, and you know, and they're just like don't give a crap, and they're just like they start, you know, just cussing out
Yeah.
people for no reason.
No,
You know, like
I'm at that
I
age
remember.
where I start talking to my grandparents and I realize I'm talking to a headstone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because
Oh,
like my grandparents, you know, like they didn't give a shit either. They would what they would do is like I remember one time, you know, we went to a concession stand while we were
hmm
at like a pool,
yeah.
right? We were at like a nice water park, and so we went to the concession stands to be able to grab some, you know, food and stuff like that. And these people, like, you know, it was a bunch of teenagers,
hmm
and they were kind of just having fun on their own, you know, like working.
Doing
You
their
know,
thing. Yeah,
working
yeah,
it
yeah.
can suck. You know,
Yeah.
and work
Gotta make
work
fun
is
out
what
of
you
it.
make it.
Yeah.
So they were like joking, messing around while they were making food. And my
hmm
grandma sees this. And I guess she just was like, I don't like that. So she starts cussing out the concession stand worker. She's like, hey, hey, make my food. Make my food. You're working. You shouldn't be playing around. Usually I was like, Grandma, she's like, shut up. She's like, you better be making my food. Make my nachos. No time, no time for no time for no time for making or joking around. And I let my grandma calm down and we
Yeah.
walked away. I
Yeah.
came back 10 minutes later and I apologized.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, look, y'all, I'm so sorry. You know, and they were like, it's okay. My grandma's the same way. And I was just like, oh my God.
Dude.
I was like, you're cussing out these like 14-year-old kids trying
Yeah.
to just make some chump change during the summertime. And I was just like, Grandma, it's not that
And
big of a deal.
those kids honestly are just gonna laugh at the old lady who was yelling at them and like,
Pretty much.
yeah,
Like,
you
I'm
know what I
pretty sure
mean?
when we walked away, they were like, damn, I really feel for those grandkids.
Yeah, they get
Like,
nothing for Christmas, you know what I mean?
honestly, dude, I was
Good
like,
God.
oh my God, Grandma, chill out.
Dude, you better be making my goddamn nachos back there.
Yeah, honestly. It's like,
That's a
Grandma, it's
great
not that big of
story.
a deal.
That's a great
Yeah.
story, man. That's super funny. I mean, like, what do you do? What do you do too when like you have a person of authority like that, like yelling at someone
I,
that, and you know
I,
that they're clearly
nothing.
wrong?
You don't do anything. You just sit there and just watch the abomination just unfold in between your eyes. You're just sitting there like, I'm really gonna have to just sit here and be embarrassed like
Just
this.
accept what's happening right now.
It's
Oh
like when I
man.
like it's like when I worked in food and when I was working as a like fry cook,
hmm
we had on the menu milkshakes, and we had a milkshake maker. But like our milkshake maker was like a standard, like, you know, like $100 one that's like not really
Yeah.
that fancy. It just makes milkshakes. That's all
Yeah.
it does. And we had a lady come in and we made her a milkshake and she drank it and she was like, no, it's not thick enough. I want it thicker, you know. And so we try to make it thick. Like we try to like
Yeah.
try to
Thicken it
try to
up.
make it thick, and we gave it back to her, and she's like, no, I don't like it. Can you make it even thicker? And I was like, what? So we threw away we threw away both two milkshakes and made her a third one
Yeah.
for free, and we tried to make it as thick as possible. And then after she drank the third one, she started cussing us out. She's like, how do I have to make it any clearer? I want it thick. I want it like a malt. I was like, ma'am, we don't make malt. We make milkshakes. Don't sit here and if you want a malt, go to Dairy Queen. It's down the road. Okay. Go to Dairy Queen. We don't make malts. This is a freaking, this is a burger
Yeah.
place. This isn't a Dairy Queen.
Yeah.
Don't tell us that we have a $50 milkshake maker back there.
Yeah.
We don't have a state-of-the-art $1,000 milkshake machine that can make a bunch of different kinds
Just
of
making you
milkshakes like
malts
Dairy
all
Queen.
day.
I was like, what do you want me to do? And so I was just like,
Oh
so
my
my boss
God.
like finally I felt so bad because
Yeah.
you can tell that the husband and the son were back there like shaking their heads
Yeah.
because they knew that this lady that his wife
She's
and his mother
wrong.
were just going off
Yeah.
on a bunch of minimum waged
Yeah,
like
they don't care.
workers.
Yeah.
And they were just like, honey, it's not that big of a deal. Let's just go home. She's like, no, I need to yell at these minimum wage workers for absolutely no reason. I was like, oh
Dear
man,
God.
dude, this lady.
Dear
It's like, I
God.
can't.
Oh, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Yeah, you know, so I wait tables on the side too. Like that's my like gig right now is I wait tables. It's actually if you're ever looking to make easy ass good money, wait tables. But anyways,
I hear it's pretty good money if you like
it's
work at a nice
great
busy restaurant.
money. It's great money. I make I'm not gonna tell you how much I make, but I make quite a bit of money doing it. Just like it's like tonight I worked for 8 hours. I got my
Mhm.
wages, but on top of that, I made an extra $200 on top of that, just in pocket cash.
Wow. Well, I mean, yeah, it's a Friday night too, so
Yeah,
it's gonna be the most busiest night.
yeah.
That's good.
So
Wow, it's
yeah,
really
which
crazy. Just in pocket money, is just $200. That's about around what I make every day
yeah,
at
that's
my job. So that's really
and that
good.
just goes right in my pocket, and that was like 8 hours of work. Easy. I mean, half the time I'm just sitting there bullshitting with people. Like I'm not even like do it like yeah you bring them stuff, you get their order and stuff, but other than that, dude, it's just like talking with people the whole time. Like it's
Pretty
so
much,
easy.
you know.
It's so easy. Gannon, Gannon, come here. You can see him.
Is that
He's
your
right back.
doggy?
He's right back there.
Yeah, I saw him.
You see,
It's the dog.
I need to start turning off. Come here. I need to start turning off my channel point redemptions during Chatterday because like this is what ends up happening is it just turns into a dog licking my face podcast, which I think people would be into that if I just had an hour of like a dog kissing my face. I think people would like
Pretty
that. Come here.
much.
Come here. Oh yeah. Oh, those are some nice kisses. What a good
Big
dog.
doggy.
Yeah, this is Gannon.
Big doggy.
That's Gannon. All right, you got to give the people what they want. You know what I mean?
You gotta give the people you exactly. You gotta give the people
You
what they
gotta
want.
give them what they want. That's what it comes down to.
And so, but yeah, like my friend, one of my best friends, he works at Olive Garden,
Okay.
and he always tells me that like while on Olive Garden, he's just like, yeah, it's really good money. It's just chill. It's good money, and on like Fridays and Saturdays when it's busy, I get good tips and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, I was just like,
I
I've been
exclusively work
honestly,
weekends for that. I only work Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday for that reason because any other time you don't make nearly as much money. It's crazy.
yeah,
But yeah, dude, it's a good gig, man. Like I recommend it to anyone who's just like they don't know what to do or what they're doing. And that's why you hear about like all these actors or waiter like, when people are trying to get into acting, they're all waiting tables, that's like the typical job when you're an actor. It's because it pays so
yeah,
well. Because you can
it
actually
pays so well, and
yeah.
yeah,
And then you have
and
your
you don't ever.
days. You have all
Yeah,
day.
you don't have to worry about you don't have to worry about overtime
Nope.
and all that stuff. Like they're not going to keep you there unless of course if somebody calls out and you need an extra shift,
Yeah.
then you can go work it. But like at my job, they make us work extra shifts if they don't have like officers.
Yeah.
Like they're like, hey, we don't have an officer. You have to stay no matter whether
Jeez.
you like it or not. You signed up for this.
Yeah.
So like it sucks. Like it really sucks
Yeah, I can
sometimes
feel
because
that.
like I won't be able to do a stream sometimes. I'll have to cancel the stream for the night because my job is like you can't go home.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, really? Like I'm like, man, that sucks.
But I think that's just the reality of being like a small streamer. Like you're on a little bit bigger level than I am, but I totally feel that where it's like you have a real life on top of this. I think sometimes, especially when you start getting to about your size, it's hard for your audience to fathom that you have another life outside of what you're doing on stream. They're like, oh, why don't you
Yeah,
stream every night? Why
yeah,
don't you do this or that? And it's one of those things where it's like, okay, well, why don't you just pay me $1,000 every night that I'm here? And then I would love to. But the reality of the situation is that all of us small streamers, we have to have that extra income outside of this because this isn't what's truly paying the bills at the end of the day.
yeah, exactly. Like like the money I get from this is just like is good money, and I put it back into the stream.
Yep.
That's why I'm able to buy like a mic like this. That's why I'm able to afford a
Keyboards.
setup like this is because of my community, and
Yeah.
that's really good. but it's definitely nowhere near being able to be like, hey, I'm
Here's
gonna quit my job and
here's
do
for
this full
my rent.
time.
Here's for my car payment. Here's for my
Yeah,
That's a
exactly.
whole other level.
And eventually I want to reach that level to where I can't
Hmm.
just be like,
Yeah,
bye
yeah,
everybody, like to my
absolutely.
job, but at that point,
But that's the scary
I'm not,
part, dude. It's because you could be
that is
hot.
really
You could
scary.
be hot for like 9 months. You know what I mean? And
And
think you
then,
got it, and then all of a sudden something happens, and like your audience drops off for one reason or another. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy
exactly.
how finicky it can be with streaming, and it's cool when you see that people are starting to get to that upper echelon. Like I have no doubt in my mind, like you after it, for watching you for the last year and the journey that like our right, I guess our streaming careers kind of we're kind of parallel to each other. Like you obviously took off a lot more, but we both started streaming around the same time. We both started
Yeah,
getting
we
into all
did.
this around the same time. So like it's fun to watch other streamers out there doing their thing, and hopefully I mean if anyone's gonna make it, you are, my man. So
Yeah,
just
and
keep
I
doing
do
it.
appreciate that. I do appreciate that, and it's like I want to be able to, make this into a full-time career eventually. Be able to wake up and do this as my
Yeah.
job. But I know that that takes time. It takes time to grow. It takes
Hmm.
time to
Yep.
be able to, kind of get your community together
Hmm.
and grow and grow and grow, and that takes a lot of time. But you're right about how scary it is, about
Yeah.
how scary it is to kind of take that leap and be able to be like, okay, I kind of have enough money to support myself. But then again, this job doesn't give you healthcare. This job
Nope.
doesn't give you a 401k.
Nope.
This job doesn't give you any sort of benefits at all. Be- Um, and so it's scary because when you make that leap, are you going to be able to have are you going to be able to stay at that level
You're
to
gonna
be able to support
It's
yourself,
not
you
just
know?
staying at that level too. It's about getting above that. It's about continuing to rise at that same level. So it's not just like,
Exactly.
okay, I'm at this level, but if you need to keep, you used to be down here, now you're here. You need to keep that growth continuous in order to support yourself on this. And you look at like professional streamers. I'm trying to think of one off the top of my head, and I can't think of anybody, but like someone like
I would say
I'd say like
I would say
Azermoff. Have you ever watched Azermoff?
no, I've never watched
She's
Asmo.
super popular, but like every time she's literally every time I look on my freaking Twitch, she's up. So like you literally have to be like at you have to be on it all the time. I feel like some of these people are on there constantly doing their thing. It's crazy,
Yeah,
man.
and and it's like for me, it's also that persona. You have to be able to find yourself that niche, like what
Hmm.
people like, and you have to be able to like roll. Like me, I like to identify myself as a chill streamer. Like
Yeah,
I'm somebody that you can watch and you can just sit there and watch. You don't even need to chat. You don't even need to watch me. If you
yeah.
just want, you kind of just can just do. Like I have one viewer, Minecraft Junkie,
Hmm.
and he was telling me today, he's like, I don't really chat as much. I just kind of like to watch you, or I'll play Minecraft and watch you at the same
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
And I was like, oh, that's cool. I like that. And I kind of identify as that kind of streamer, a chill streamer who you can watch or fall asleep to. Like I
yeah.
know I have some viewers, they'd be like, oh
Absolutely.
yeah, sometimes I'll listen to you while you're playing Minecraft and I'll just kind of drift away. And
Yeah.
you're my streamer that I kind of like to drift away to. I'm like, that's awesome.
That's a great
I
compliment, actually, to be honest.
Exactly. And I know that there's some streamers out there that are very loud and they're really like in your face,
Yep.
and people like that and they identify as that streamer. But I'm kind of like the opposite. I'm kind of a chill streamer. Let's play video games together. Let's have a good time together, and let's kind of just roll with this content together,
S-
and stuff like that.
So
And I
since we're kind of on this topic, I'm just curious. Oh, dude, thank you for the raid,
Turkey,
Herky.
turkey,
Yeah, buddy.
turkey,
With the
turkey,
rate of 5, appreciate it, my
with the
guy.
rain.
That's so awesome. So since we're kind of on this topic, talking a little bit about your community a little bit and kind of building that, like, how did you go about building such a strong community? Like, that's a question I really want because you look in your Discord and everyone there is always chatting. They're having a fun time. They're using the different channels. Like, how did that come about, and how did you start doing that?
So to be honest, I did a lot of research. I'm going to be honest with you. And I've honestly never been into this in depth. And I might talk for a little bit,
Go
but I've
for it.
never been.
This is your half hour, my guy.
Honestly, and I've never been into this in depth about how I've been able to really grow and do this. Usually when people come into my channel and they ask me and say, "Hey, how did you gain this community? How were you able to build this many viewers?" I always tell them, I say, I kind of, I kind of do just like the most vague terms of kind of how I did it. Oh, you just need to keep engaging with chat. You need to play games that aren't too saturated on Twitch. You need to have fun. Remember, at the end of the day, it's all about having fun.
Yeah.
And those are all terms I live by. I do live by those terms. But to kind of get into the meat and potatoes of what I do is, honestly, I did a lot of research on the kind of algorithm of Twitch, what Twitch kind of likes, what Twitch kind of favors, and to be able to kind of, kind of play into that. And to be honest, I started playing games to be able to grow. I used to play Rainbow Six Siege, which Rainbow Six Siege has at the time an average around 70,000 viewers, and that's a very saturated. That's an extremely saturated. Category on Twitch.
Yeah.
There's a lot of big streamers that play that, and there are also a lot of people streaming that in general. Sorry, excuse me. There are a lot of streamers, and so it's going to be hard for you to get recognized when you have 1 or 2 viewers in there. It's going to be hard to kind of stand out unless you're either a really good player or you have some crazy funny personality, and you're trying to grow on YouTube and stuff like that. So I was like, this is kind of hard to grow on here. I'm definitely not a pro at this. So I kind of found a game that I liked that had around 1,000 viewers, 2,000 viewers, and that ended up being Roblox. And I was like, oh, I love Roblox. This is one of my favorite games.
Wait, that only had 1,000 viewers? Roblox?
Yes,
People
Roblox
watch
at
that
the
like
time.
crazy. Are you talking about
People watch
streamers
that
or
like
viewers?
viewers. I'm not even joking. Well, when I played in the middle of the night, you gotta understand that. So
okay, I got you.
yeah.
Got you.
So since I played in the middle of the night, there wasn't that many people on it. Like during the day, it would have like 5,000 to 6,000 viewers, but during the night, it would drop down to like 1,000.
Okay.
So I was like, well, I love Roblox, and this isn't super saturated on Twitch, so let's give it a go.
Yeah.
And so I started playing Roblox. I had fun on it, and slowly I started to realize I went from 3 viewers to 5 viewers, 5 viewers to 7 viewers, and I started slowly snowballing my way. And on top of that, what's really good about Roblox, which I think was a game changer in engaging in Twitch. Twitch is all about engaging with the streamer in real time, right? And being able to talk to them with chat and stuff like that, being able to read their chats. What I think took that to the next level was Roblox is a very, very easy game to play with your chat. They can easily join your game, and you can you can interact with your viewers very, very well. So I would get people coming into my channel, and like it was crazy how I started to notice the change too. Is like in 2 weeks I went from like 3 to 4 average viewers to like 9 to 10.
Wow.
And I started to play with my viewers more. Like, hey, you guys, we're going to play Arsenal today, or hey, you guys, we're going to play Tower of Hell. And I started to just play them. I would race my viewers. I would PvP against my viewers. It was a really good game to engage in with your viewers. Awesome. And so I got to this point in with Roblox to where since Roblox technically only had 1,000 viewers, there was a peak. There was like a peak to it.
Yeah.
So like when I got to about 20 viewers, 20 average viewers, I saw that for quite a while, like a month or 2 months, I wasn't growing at all after that.
Interesting.
And I was just like, I hit this peak. I'm not growing at all. I'm kind of just keeping the same people. And so after that, I was just like, I might need to try to find another game to play, because at the end of the day, I love playing Roblox and I loved playing with my viewers. But at the end of the day, Twitch is kind of like, I have to think of my channel as a business as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I can't just play Roblox and stay at 20 viewers forever.
No.
So I need to find another game that has a little bit more viewership, that I know I can still engage with my chat and have fun with my chat. So like a chill game. And I was like, I've been playing Minecraft for like my entire life. So I was just like, let's go ahead and jump into Minecraft.
Oh, cool.
And I noticed that some people didn't like that, because obviously when you change your content, not everybody's gonna be on board.
Part of
You
like
know,
picking one game. That's part of
yeah,
the
that's part of
downfall of picking one game to go off of.
ex- exactly. And so, I was just like, well, I'm not going to be able to grow anymore on Roblox.
Yeah.
And even though I loved Roblox, I have to switch the content up, or else I'm
Hmm.
just going to stay here for my rest of my time on Twitch, and I can't have that. So I ended up switching it around
Hmm.
and going to Minecraft, and that's whenever most of my community came over to Minecraft with me, which was really
That's
nice.
cool.
But I started to notice that after that, kind of to grow and grow and grow, because Minecraft has like a viewership of like
Crazy.
40,000.
Yeah, crazy viewership.
Yeah, and so I feel like, on top of me being a really really nice and chill streamer that
Hmm.
engages a lot with my chat and stuff like that, which is a huge thing you have to do on Twitch,
Yeah.
because you have to understand, and this is for everybody that's a streamer in the chat, and just and that whoever's watching, you have to realize that you are a gamer second and you are a streamer first. You put your stream in front of the game.
Hmm.
You
Oh yeah.
can't focus. You can't just focus on the game. You are a streamer first, and unless you're a pro player playing like a pro match, then of course you got to focus on your game, because people are there to watch your gameplay.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you are a streamer first and a gamer second. You
Yeah.
have to put your stream and your viewers in front of the game, because if you just kind of ignore them and you're kind of just playing the game and not acknowledging your chat and not engaging with your viewers, they will go find somebody else that will engage with them. And
And it drives me nuts too. I hate it when I go into a stream and I'm like, "Hey, what's up?" and then there's no one in there. It's like I'm one of
exactly.
four, and they're just like sitting in front of their game, like, And like,
Yeah, exactly.
you
Exactly.
gotta have your chat in front of you. Like, I don't care if you're on your PlayStation or your Xbox and you're just streaming from your couch. You need to have your chat like right in front of your face, so that when someone says, "Hey, what's up?" you literally have about what 15, 20 seconds, maybe,
Yeah, it's
maybe.
actually another streamer said the human mind actually decides, after jumping into a stream, the human mind decides 15 seconds whether they want to engage with the streamer or whether they want to move on to
Hmm.
another stream. So you have to be able to sit there, and that's why I always tell my viewers to talk.
Yeah,
Like, if you're going to stream, talk. Don't just sit there. Don't just be quiet. Don't just the gameplay only gets you so far,
exactly.
especially if you're an average gamer. Like, unless you're some pro player that's really just cranking them 90s, or doing some crazy flicks and stuff like that,
Hmm.
people are not going to just sit there and watch average gameplay. If I wanted
Yeah.
to sit there and do that, I would watch a let's play on YouTube. Like,
Or I'd go
let's be
play
real.
video games myself. Most people
Or
are
I
just
would go play
average.
the video game myself, pretty much. And so that's why I always tell people, don't sit there and be quiet. Even if you have 0 viewers, I know it's discouraging to sit there and talk to yourself, but you have to learn how to do that.
Yes.
Because when I first started streaming, I sat there and talked to myself a lot,
Yep.
and you have to do that. Because if you do get somebody coming in and they see that you're just sitting there playing the video game with your mouth open, they're not going to sit there and be like, okay, yeah, this is somebody I want to chill with. 9 out of 10 times you're going to have a person that comes into your stream that just kind of is like, no, I'm not going to do this. Yeah, this dude's kind of like, I rated somebody. I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah.
rated somebody with like 40 people one time,
Yeah.
and I was like, yeah, this dude's playing Warzone. Let's go ahead and rate him. Rated him, and I kid you not, he did not say a single word. He said,
Oh
"Oh, he
God.
said, oh yeah, man, thanks for the raid," and then didn't say a single word for
What?
15 minutes after that. For his entire Warzone
God
game, he
damn.
sat he sat there in silence, and it's like, I was like, okay, this dude is not
What a
talking.
wasted opportunity.
I know, and that's why I said, okay, let me see if this dude's gameplay is at least like good. I watched him for a
Yeah.
little bit. He died in like the first encounterment that he got into. I was like, oh my god, he's not even that great. I was like,
What are
oh
you
no.
thinking?
So
Dude,
I was like, I don't want to be mean to this
yeah.
guy, but at the same time, like, dude, you're doing Twitch so wrong.
You
Like, you just got rated by 40 something people,
yeah.
and
And you're not
you're just
even
you're
freaking
not
out.
talking.
I'd freak
People
out.
are like trying to say hi to him too. Like, my viewers like to say, "How's the stream going? What's going on, man? Hey,
You have
you
extremely
know."
awesome viewers who, and I can attest to this because you've rated me multiple times. They always say
Exactly.
hello and interact always.
Exactly, they're awesome, dude. My viewers
Yeah,
are the
they're good
best, and
people.
they're so kind. And I was telling my viewers
Hmm.
actually, I was telling a lot my viewers on stream yesterday. I was like, we have like one of the most. I feel like we have one of the most wholesome communities out there
Yeah.
because we're so nice. And that's why I was saying, like, I was just like, dude, I have my viewers saying hi to you. I have everybody saying hi to you, and you're just kind of just sitting
Sitting there,
there.
yeah.
I kid you not. I put on a timer. I literally was like, let's see how
Let's
long this
figure
dude
it
just
out.
doesn't say a word.
Yeah.
And I put on a timer. It was like 15 minutes before he
Dear
like looked at
God.
the chat and then said, "I think we should start another one, boys." And then that was it. I was like, "Oh
I
my
I think I should start
god!"
another stream at that point, is what you're saying,
No,
dude.
and then
Jesus.
Crispy, and you can ask Crispy this because he
Yeah.
he was there too. He was part of my raid. He asked the dude, and he started giving him tips. And the dude didn't even read him and acknowledge him. I was like, "Oh, dude, I don't."
See,
I was like, "I'm sorry, dude, but this
I
your stream is just
yeah.
not fun.
No.
Like, you gotta talk. You
You
gotta
you
talk." And
have to talk.
exactly that boils down to
I,
you have to talk
well,
to
and I
even if
think
you're not talking
if
to me.
you are that way where you're just like, man, I don't know what to say. I don't have anything to say. Narrate your gameplay. Talk about things you're doing in the game. Just say
It doesn't matter.
anything.
You can talk about anything. It's just talk.
Anything. Just talk. Just like,
I don't
especially
care.
like if you're just going, okay, oh man, I see a guy over here. Pretend like you have a person in your party, even if you don't, and you're talking to that person and telling them what's going on. Like,
Exactly.
say
Like as a
something. Something.
exact as a streamer, I don't care what you're talking about. If I come into your stream, I'm immediately interested in what you're talking about. I
Yeah.
don't care what you're talking
Yeah,
about. If I
absolutely.
come into your stream and I'm here for the first time and I've never ever ever been in your stream before, if I'm coming into your stream and I hear you talk, I'm just like, okay, what's this dude talking about? You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
like if I come into your stream and you're not talking, then I'm just gonna be like, okay,
Oh,
let me check
usually
out the
dip.
gameplay for a little
Yeah.
bit. I'm like, he's not talking. It's been quite a while. Just talk. You have to talk,
Yeah.
talk, talk. I don't care if you're talking about what you had for breakfast this
Yeah.
morning. I don't care. Just say something. Like as a streamer, you have to talk even if there's
Well, and
nobody
the more
there.
random, the better. You know what I mean? Like if you can
Exactly.
sit there
Even
and
if it's
narrate
random.
your gameplay, that's fine. But if you just have random stuff like, man, I just ate this burrito from Taco Bell, man. It had cheese, it
And I
had
had bubble
beef,
gut, like
and
afterwards.
now I gotta be on the toilet every 15 minutes. So hold on, I gotta put
Exactly.
my be right back on. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't matter what you say, just say
Exactly. Just
something.
say something. That's why I always tell people. I always tell people that you have to talk, 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 talk,
Yeah,
talk, talk, talk. No matter what you're talking about, it doesn't matter. Just if you're streaming, don't sit there and be complacent and not
yeah.
talk. I mean, I understand if it gets. I mean, there's been times where it gets really high intensity, and I can't talk. I have to. I'm like, oh man, like especially in Minecraft. Sometimes Minecraft, you're fighting a bunch of monsters and stuff like that,
Hmm.
and you got to sit there and you got, oh man, this is getting intense.
Yeah.
I got to focus. And that's okay. But at the end of the day, if you're in a high intensity situation and it's over and there's nothing going on in your stream, then talk, just
Well,
talk.
and one
Like
thing to
like
do too is like when you're in those high intensity situations, like physically say out loud, "Hey guys, I know chat's going off. Give me a second. I gotta focus on this," and then we'll get right back
and
to
I say
chat.
that all the time too.
Yeah.
Like my viewers know that if I'm being quiet because there's something going
Mm-hmm.
on, I'll be like, oh yeah, I'm sorry, you guys, I'm sorry. Just give me one sec. Just give me one sec. Just give me
Yeah.
one sec. I gotta do this real quick. And so I'll say
All
that.
right, dude.
It's just like it's crazy
Go poop, Deadpool.
how
You don't have to be here that bad. Just go poop. Never,
it's
ever, ever prioritize my podcast over pooping. Plus, if you have a cell phone, just bring it with you. That's all I gotta say. No big deal.
yeah,
No big
stuff.
deal. All right.
But yeah,
So let's
yeah.
let's kind of switch on topics a little bit, because I think you and I can
Okay.
both talk about talking forever, and talks about talks is always a good talk. But
Honestly.
so we have a choice here. We have a choice we have to make right now. Underdog. We've either got to move on and do some topics, or we could keep kind of chatting about your stream a little bit and a little bit more about you yourself. We're kind of at that pathway,
That
that
crossroads. Okay.
crossroads. So we either have to commit to Underdog, or we can talk about some other game stuff that I have
So
prepared for us throughout
I
the
would
game.
love to actually hear about what kind of topics you have. Love to hear about
Okay,
what kind of
so
topics you have.
let's pop in a topic and see what happens. So I tried to think of you as I put these in. So the first one, oh god, that I did not mean to do.
It's
Uh,
all Minecraft
the
stuff.
first, I know, right? Well, the first one you actually might like this one. Nvidia warns that great GPU shortage will continue through 2021.
That's
So
not surprising.
yeah, it's not surprising.
That's not surprising.
Um,
I saw people outside of Micro Center actually sitting with their tents in line, waiting for the 3080s, 3090s to come out because
no.
they were restocking in Micro Center this past weekend. I went to Micro Center because we had to grab some stuff,
Yeah.
and they were restocking in 30s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. And I kid you not, they were restocking the next day, and it was like
Wow.
4 o'clock that we showed up, and there was already like 5 people
No
with tents set
way.
up waiting.
Did
I
you,
was like, oh
were
my
you
goodness,
able to
these
get
people are
one?
already. No, I wasn't getting. I
Oh,
wasn't there to
you.
get one.
Oh, okay.
They were even coming out the next day. I was like, no, I'm not gonna sit
Jesus.
here for 18 hours to try to get a 3070, 3080, or 3090. I was like,
Damn.
nope, I'm not gonna do that, and
All
stuff
right.
like. And so
Well,
I'm not
let's delve into
surprised.
this. So I'm gonna cut you off right there. We're gonna delve into
Okay, no problem.
this, and then we'll get right back to what you're saying. So this is out of The Verge, I believe. It's with Tom Warren is the writer. Go give it a click. I put the link in the chat as always. So if you're hoping to pick up a new RTX 30 series GPU in the coming months, NVIDIA is warning about supply shortages for the rest of 2021. We expect demand to continue to exceed supply for much of this year, said Chris, NVIDIA CFO, on the investors call earlier this week. That means the difficulties of finding a new 30 series GPU will likely continue, possibly into 2022. NVIDIA possibly warned that supplies would likely remain lean through the fiscal quarter one, and now that we're approaching the milestone and end of April, it's clear that the supply hasn't improved significantly to meet demand. That's probably all we need to go into on this. I don't want to go too
Yeah,
far.
and just to kind of go off of that topic about these like 30 series video cards. People were telling me that I was an idiot for
Mm-hmm.
buying a 2070 Super in 2019, and honestly, no, I'm not, because to be honest, my PC ever since putting in my 2070 Super and putting in all these other upgrades is future proof until probably the 30 series
Yeah,
becomes available to where I can just walk in and you can get
pick one
one.
up.
Because right now you can't walk into anywhere and grab a 30 series. You can either buy one from a scalper who's selling it for basically
Several
a
thousands.
way more than what
The
it's
price of a
worth.
PC with one in it, basically.
Pretty much, exactly. And so, or you can try to buy, like I've actually seen a way that people are actually getting 3080s and 3090s and stuff like that
Mm-hmm.
is buying pre-builts. A lot of pre-builts now
Mm-hmm.
that are like $1,500-$1,600 are actually have the 30 series in them. I don't know
Yep.
how these big
Yep.
companies are probably they're probably using
It's
bots to be able to
literally
get
what
all
I was
these.
just talking about.
I
Yes.
say they're probably getting bots to get all these. But
Well, no,
w-
no, no, because they
um
actually deal directly with NVIDIA. So a lot of these companies who build out and source
deals.
computers, they actually go to NVIDIA, and NVIDIA goes, okay, you can have X amount for your PC builds, and then they just,
I got
yeah,
you.
it's a
Yeah,
whole different thing.
you can actually get something like that. I've actually seen like Motley. That's how Motley got
Mm-hmm.
one.
Mm-hmm.
Because Motley bought a pre-built that
Yeah.
had a 30. I think I had a 3070 in it,
He
and I
bought a
was like, huh.
monster pre-build. He bought a
Yeah, he did.
monster.
He did buy a pretty good pre-build. I found one better that I wanted to recommend him, but Crispy found it for him, and I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
let Crispy get you one. But he bought a monster pre-build. But to be honest, I'm like, dude, my PC is going to be fine until probably 2022,
Yeah.
2023, and then that's probably when I'll start seeing like some decline
Yeah.
in the in my build.
In performance.
But the thing is I'm not mad that I have a 20 series in there, because I'm like, dude, I'm not going to go and try to camp out
No.
for a 30 series. I'm not
No.
going to try to go fight people for a 30 series. I'm not doing that. It's the same thing with the
Well,
PS5.
is
Remember how bad I wanted a
yeah,
PS5?
absolutely.
And
Did you ever get one?
like, no, no, because every single time they come out, like
They're gone.
the PS5s are in the same boat as these
Yeah.
30 series cards. They are literally in the same boat because they are so in high demand right now.
Well, you know why that is
It's
too. Why these shortages are truly happening, and that is
because like these scalpers and bots are just
not
buying all
not
them.
just that. It's not. There's actually a whole other side to this. So you have the scalpers and bots that are buying up all that supply, but then you also have the GPU shortage, or not GPU, the shortage that's going on with semiconductors is what they're called. So basically, the things that go
Uh,
into making PlayStations, go into the GPUs, go into basically, just like the little microchips and stuff.
and
They all come out of
yeah,
China. They come out of East Asian
and that
countries.
got messed up because of COVID, didn't it?
Yep. And so that's why, and
Uh,
now America actually, not to get political or anything, but Biden was actually talking, and his administration were actually talking about opening semiconductor factories in the United States because there are none. So if
That'd
we,
be actually pretty good.
yeah, they'd be great jobs to open up, and it takes specialized workers. But the problem is these factories take 3 years to get off the ground to start from scratch and make a semiconductor
I feel
factory.
like by then too, this COVID stuff might be over in 3 years.
It might be.
Like I know a lot of people have been saying like, "Oh, I think COVID's gonna be over in this year or next year." Probably not, to
Well,
be
it's
honest,
it's
because
always going to be with us, man. It's just, are you
it,
going to get
I'm
vaccinated or
pretty sure
not?
it's gonna be something.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's something that we're all gonna live with. It's gonna be like I'm pretty sure it's gonna be like
fly.
the flu
Yeah,
every year now.
yeah,
And
pretty much.
so unless
We're
you get
just
like
building an immunity to it as a
yeah, you gotta get
world.
like the vaccine. Like I've already got my vaccine.
Me
Actually,
too.
Tuesday I got
Yep.
my second vaccine.
Nice.
So
Congratulations,
I
man.
am I'm fully vaccinated from COVID, which is nice.
Yep.
Now I can go around and just cough on everybody. No,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
He's literally
I'm not
gonna
gonna do
come
that.
spit in my mouth after the podcast. It's gonna be
I
great.
will
Stick
spit
around
in
for
your
that one.
mouth, Dave, after the
No,
podcast.
just kidding. I actually got
But
mine too. So I'm
oh,
all,
you did?
yeah, I just did the Johnson and
Nice.
Johnson one, but so I
Nice,
just needed the
dude.
one.
That's awesome, man. Because I mean, like I know people are like they're
Yeah,
like worried about it,
100%.
and they're like, oh, this and that. But to be honest, if we all want this thing to end, I think everybody at the end of the day really wants
Yep.
COVID to finally end, and it's not going to end until like most of us get this vaccine, and
Yep.
people just gotta you just
Exactly.
gotta you just gotta go out there, bite the bullet, get the vaccine, and that way we can all go back out and do our own thing again. And so
Exactly. And I think it's just, it's a good thing to do. I'm pro vaccination. I don't know how y'all feel out there, if you are or not, and that's
I
your
was
own
skeptical
personal.
about it at first. Like when it first came out, I didn't do it. I didn't
Hmm.
take it. I had it available to me because being a
Yep.
correctional officer, I w-
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
was considered a first responder.
Well,
Um,
so
so
do the inmates have access to that as well? Because it's such a crowded environment, and that has been a
yeah,
huge
they
problem
gave
for
it
them.
to they when they first sent it out, they were like, we're giving it to doctors, police officers, firefighters, jail staff, inmates,
That's good.
prisons, prison staff, and they were
Yeah.
giving it to all of these people. And so, that's why I was like, I was one of the first people to be able to I was able to get it before any of my family was able to get it because it's just because of the environment I worked in. And So they offered it to me, but I was like, no, I actually declined it when they offered it to me. And I said, I want to see how this plays out because I want to see if there's any big side effects or there's anything I
Yeah.
need to worry about.
Yeah.
And so I kind of was just like, I was kind of like, I don't want it. I don't want it.
Yeah.
And I waited for like a month. And then Marissa was finally like, you need to get it. Get
Yeah.
it. So
Yep.
I was just like, okay, I'll get it. And so me and her got it. And we actually didn't get any side effects until the
Wow.
second one.
Okay.
The second one I got, Marissa got like really sick. Nothing happened to me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she actually got like flu symptoms for a day,
Yeah.
and then she was over it after a day.
Dude, my
But
wife did. My wife was the same way. She got sick, and I was pretty much just like tired.
yeah,
That was it.
sorry, I had to mute my mic real quick.
No, you're good.
But um,
Yeah. Anyways, let's
yeah.
let's
Anyways,
roll it back. Yeah,
back
enough
on
about
topic
COVID.
because we kind of just branched out
Uh,
into this whole COVID thing.
yeah. No.
But yeah,
One last thing. I support
about
getting vaccinated. Go get vaccinated if you can. They are safe. Just
pretty
chill
much
out.
they
We
are.
both have.
I've got my two, and
Especially if you're
I'm
sitting there
fine.
smoking meth. You know what I mean? Like if you're sitting there smoking meth or doing heroin, go get vaccinated because that's probably worse for you. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And don't do meth or heroin. I guess I'm saying that
You're
too.
gonna offend the hard drug users. Be careful, David.
Would all the hard drug users in Javon's community please stand up and go get vaccinated? Anyways, but for real, so
But back
basically,
on topic about the 39s and stuff like that.
semiconductors is where we're at. So
Yeah.
so basically, we are opening like the United States is going to start investing in semiconductors, but they're not right now, and it's
Mm.
very specifically comes out of like pretty much China and a few other Eastern Asian companies, and they're just not. I mean, they're just not flowing like they normally are, mostly because of COVID. Those factories got shut down, getting restarted as a bitch, and so that's
Yeah.
what caused. I mean, like Ford is affected by this. They are building cars without computer chips in them and just putting them off to the side until they can get semiconductors for their cars. They have
Dang.
shut down car
Yeah.
factories because of it.
That's
That's how bad
crazy.
it is. It's bad. It's in everything,
Yeah,
medical
and
equipment,
that's why it's just
everything.
like
So, anyways, so that's part of that,
yeah.
and then the other part is like the small, especially with the PlayStations and the GPUs. There's
Yeah, the PlayStations are at the top too.
the Xboxes, PlayStations, all those, and like it's funny because PlayStation has even stopped pretty much making PlayStation 4s, pretty much just so they can put all of those components like extra semiconductors
Into
into
PS5, yeah.
exactly. It's insane. So
That's crazy when you think about it. How just out of stock it is, you
mhm.
know. And
And we just want to get our video
I
game
mean,
on, you know?
yeah, to be honest, I completely understand that, and that's why I'm like, dude, you know, you couldn't go in and buy a computer for the longest time,
Hmm.
because everything was out of there. Like they were like, I remember watching a bunch of like YouTubers I watched
Hmm.
that build computers, and they were like, you, right now is the worst time to try to build a computer because
Yeah.
right now it is they are so out of stock with so many parts. Like I went to go try to to see if I can do a build, and I couldn't even buy a fan. Like the
Whoa.
fans were out of stock. The I mean, memory was, you know, storage was everywhere. You
Yeah.
didn't have to worry about that. But like you know, video cards were out of stock, fans were out of stock. You had cases that were garbage that you could
Yep.
only buy. You know, everything was just scalped
Yeah.
because everybody was trying to everybody on top of that, everybody started working from home. So
Hmm.
when you have everybody start working from home, when half of America has to work from home
That's where the
because
webcam shortage came from. That's where the Stream Deck shortage came
webcam
from.
shortage, Stream
Yeah.
Deck, yeah, all of that. Because you had all these people working from home now, and they have to get computers. And when everybody starts going to my Walmart, Micro Center, and everything to just start getting any computer that they can get their hands on, or you know, and boom, that's what
When I
happens.
got my Elgato card, like, so I got an Elgato stream card, and people were like, "What?" It was during this period when you couldn't get like Elgatos at that point. Like there was a point in time last year, it was like last April, May, where you could not get an Elgato stream card, and my cousin happened to have an extra one and sent it to me, and I was like, "Dude, thank you so much," and he just sold it to me
Yeah,
for retail, and it was like one of the best ones out there, and I was just like, "Dude, this is so badass that I was actually able to get an Elgato," because there's a lot of stream what are they called, capture cards out there, but like I feel like Elgato is definitely the one. If you, it's worth it to invest
I
in
thought
the
it was the best.
Elgato.
Yeah.
100%. 100%.
There's no like I don't see like a single competitor to Elgato as well. Like I have my Stream Deck right here. I'm
Hmm.
looking at it right now, you know, and I just can't find a competitor that even really competes with Elgato and what they
No.
have.
No.
You know, their Stream Decks, their capture cards.
Hmm.
Every Elgato has always been like the leading capture card ever since I can even
Hmm.
remember, back in like the Call of Duty days when people were using that to be able to
Yeah.
record stuff on their PS3s and stuff like
PS3s.
that. Like they've always
Well,
just been
probably
the
Xbox.
top dogs in terms of video capture devices. And now they're even branching out. Like I saw the other day, they had this thing called a smart ring light where they had like a ring
Oh,
light that you can control with a button.
no
It
way.
was like really cool, and
Dude,
you
that's
could even
badass.
control it with your Stream Deck. So
Yeah, they're
like
Elgato's
that's
on
why I
it,
have
dude.
Elgato is seriously on it. You know, they are definitely the best when it comes to video capture cards, and like I said, all the cool gadgets and gizmos for streaming.
By the way,
Um,
this podcast is brought to you by Elgato Stream Deck.
Really? Am
No.
I getting a wait? Am I the winner? Do I get a free 4K Elgato stream
We
capture card?
are
My goodness,
providing
Dave,
everyone
thank
in the
you so
stream right
much, man.
now with a free 4K Elgato Stream Deck. So just keep an eye on your mail. I have your address. It'll get there eventually. If you
Oh
have
my
any
God, thank you
complaints,
so
just call
much.
Elgato and tell them Dave said sent you. Okay, just say Dave said I was getting a Stream Deck capture card. So yeah, just let them know, and then they'll know exactly what you're talking about. Just call the 1-800 number,
It's like
whatever.
I have no
Yeah.
idea who Dave is, and you need to leave, sir, before we call the police.
But the streamer online said.
Oh, the man, the Twitch man, told me I'd get one, sir. Leave the premise.
Sir, hang up. Just hang up your goddamn phone. I don't want to hear from you again.
I need you to go away.
You are not
You
getting a free Stream Deck, by the way, everyone.
know,
Nice try, though.
you know what? Funny story, real quick. You know, now that I think about that,
Yeah.
is like, um, when I used to work security. I used to work security for a little security agency.
Hmm.
They would send me to different places. Here's a funny story about them. They sent me to a bank one time, and I was an unarmed security officer.
Oh,
So
damn.
I didn't have
Yeah, you
any
didn't have a
arm,
gun.
like I didn't have anything,
Yeah.
and so I was an unarmed security for a bank. Like they sent me to a bank
Yeah.
because they had gotten robbed,
Oh, Jesus.
and they were like, "Okay, we need security here." And I was like, and so I showed up and I like started chatting it up with one of the
Hmm.
tellers, and we started talking, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I was the one that like that he told me he was gonna
Yeah.
rob the place." I was like, "Oh crap, like that must have been crazy." And then so we started talking, and
Hmm.
I was like, you know, honest question to you though. if somebody came in here with a gun and pointed it at all of us, what am I gonna do? Like, I'm serious. I'm unarmed,
Yeah. Yeah.
and if somebody comes in here demanding money, I'm getting on the floor like everybody else.
You're going
I
to
said,
give
I
him
am
the
not
money.
going to risk my life for no bank. I'm going to be real with you. So I was
No
just
money
like,
there is worth your life at
I
all.
was like, yeah. She was like, honestly, I have no idea why they even hired you.
Yeah.
And I was like, me neither.
Yeah.
I was like, me neither. Because like, I mean, if somebody is like,
Well, and
what am I
even
gonna
if they
do?
were to come in, dude, if
Like,
you're the guy with the gun, you're the first person they're fucking looking for at a bank. You know what I mean?
exactly. You know, and my my mom being a police officer, she said that's the first thing that robbers do. They send in a scout. They call it a
Mm-hmm.
scout, and it's kind of crazy how crazy it goes into. It's called a scout. They send them in to make sure that if there's any armed guards,
Mm-hmm.
like, or they'll send in to see if there's any security, if they're armed, and like how many there are. So that way they can go back into the car, relay it to their people, and then they come in. And so if you're armed, the first thing they're doing when they bust in is pointing that gun at you. And if you don't drop to the floor or give them your weapon, you're probably getting shot.
Oh yeah,
Just,
100%.
just
They
letting
don't
you
give a
know.
fuck. They don't give a
Just letting.
fuck. That's crazy.
Exactly. And so
Ugh,
that's what I was.
no, thank you.
That's what I was saying. I was like, in here, I'm in this bank. I'm gonna sit here, but if somebody comes in with a gun and demands everybody on the floor, I am dropping to the
I
floor
am
faster than
everybody.
anybody. I said, and if I lose my job because of it, so be it. Because I don't care. I'm not trying to be Superman.
Yeah. No, no, dude, 100%. Yeah, especially for a minimum wage security job. You know what I mean?
Oh
Like, no,
yeah,
no, 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 no. I'm here to like just like pretend like I'm some sort of enforcement. I'm here to like escort out the old lady who's mad that she's charged the extra
Exactly.
3 cents.
And that's most of my unarmed security job consisted of was literally showing people where stuff was. Like I worked at a hotel as security, like
Yeah.
unarmed security, and all I did all day was,
Yep.
sir, where is the ballroom at? And I'm like, it's over there, ma'am. You know,
That's it.
that's all I did. I didn't do any security. The only time I ever had to call the police was whenever I was working security at a Walmart and a lady came in trying to stab her boyfriend.
Oh
That was about
God.
it.
Oh God.
Yeah, yeah. She came in with like a steak knife, it
Jesus.
was like a long butcher steak knife. And she came in, she just was just trying to hack at him. I was like, oh my
What'd you
God.
do?
And apparently, like at the end of the day, after I got done talking like with the police and all that, she had tried to stab him because she was talking trash about, or he was talking trash about her kids.
Yeah.
So they got into this argument in the store because I heard a wine bottle break, and when I saw the security footage, she actually broke the wine bottle against his head, and
God damn.
yeah,
No, those are
she
no joke, dude.
and
Those are
those are
thick.
big too. So I heard a crash. And I was like, "Uh-oh, let's go see what that is. Somebody must
Yeah.
have dropped a wine bottle or something." So I went over there, and then I see this man bolting across the store, and a lady with a knife chasing after him. And I was like, "Should I call 911?" And they were like, "Yes."
Yes.
He's like, "Oh, okay." And then somebody said afterwards, they were like, "Why didn't you tackle the lady with the knife?" I said, "Because she had a fucking knife."
I ain't
I
doing
said, "I'm
that.
not tackling no lady with a knife."
Even the
I was like,
police would have been like, "Why'd you tackle that lady with a knife?"
exactly. Yeah, but the police would be like, bro, you're stupid. And so, like, the one Walmart employee was like, "Why didn't you tackle her?" I was like, "Do you see me?
Yeah,
Like,
like, do I look like I should have another hole in
if
my body
y'all
right
call the
now?
cops, I'm gonna let them handle that.
First thing she's gonna do
They're
is
the ones that are
flail
supposed to
that
do that."
knife, dude, when she starts getting
Exactly. That's
tackled.
shit. That's
Yo,
above my pay grade. I'm
yo.
not get paid enough to go tackle ladies with knives.
I got the
You
phone.
know?
I call the police. My
Yeah,
job is over.
hey, I called the police fast. World record police call. I'll give you that. They showed up
Dear
quick too,
God.
because they said they were passing by the store already,
Oh
and
damn.
that's when they got. I was like, that's good timing, because
Thank
that dude
God.
would have probably gotten sliced up if that didn't happen.
Yeah, dude. Holy shit.
He went. It was funny the way he was kind of hiding too. Was
Yeah.
he was pretending to get his blood pressure taken in the blood pressure machine.
Hmm.
So when we walked up to him, when the police walked up to him, he was like, "I don't know what you guys are talking about. I'm here taking
He's
my
like
blood pressure."
bleeding from the
I was
head.
like, "Bro, get up! I saw you, dude."
Dear
Let the
God,
people
bro.
try to help you just in case you got stabbed.
Oh
Jeez.
God, that's crazy. All right, my dude. So I think,
Topic.
well, we're kind of getting towards where I guess we could do one more topic. We'll do one more. We'll run long. We'll run long.
All right.
Because
All right. We're
I
getting to
try
that
to keep
time.
it. Well, yeah, I try to keep it around an hour because I think if you go longer than that, it gets like the podcast like as far as like people looking at a podcast. An hour is about what people like the research I've done on that. An hour is about what
I listen to
they're.
the Misfits podcast. They sometimes are going for like 4 hours though.
Yeah, but how will you sit down and listen to that in one sitting, or do you sit there and like you probably listen to it throughout the week and all these like
I usually am at work,
Yeah.
and while I'm doing my work, I'll have it on in the background,
Yeah.
just listening to it.
4 hours is
Like I hear it's good for like truck drivers. Like truck
Yeah, I
drivers,
can see
they
that.
really listen. They really listen to. I mean, all they're doing is driving a
That's
truck,
true.
so all you can do is
That's
really
true.
listen to podcasts.
I try to keep this around an hour just because I feel like most streamers, gamers, things like that.
Yeah,
it
no, and I
really-
completely understand because
it gets a little messy if you can't pass that. So here's let's watch a little video real quick and then we'll talk about it. Are you ready? Do you have your thing set up for video? To watch my stream?
Yeah, let's go ahead.
All right, here we go.
Hi, I'm Mike Morishita, executive producer at Facebook. Resident Evil, the franchise that changed the way we think about video games, is still going strong after 25 years. Congratulations, Capcom, on this incredible milestone. Now let's rewind for a moment. I remember when Resident Evil 4 launched in 2005.
So do I, because I'm old.
Brilliant. Nobody had ever seen a game like it
Bro,
before.
they've been making these for
And it
25 years?
remains a
Oh yeah.
The survival
Resident
horror
Evil
genre.
1
Jesus.
on PS1.
In the
Heck
16
yeah.
years since the launch
Jesus,
of Resident
man.
Evil 4,
Biohazard.
the gaming industry has
That's what it was
evolved,
originally called.
and new ways to play have entered the market.
God.
Yeah.
And we've been eager to explore how Resident Evil 4 could be enhanced for a modern audience.
I'm Mike Perdue, VP of Content at Facebook Reality Labs.
Is this the Resident
I'm
Evil with the
excited
big
to
mommy
announce
milkers?
that
No.
The big mo-
Oculus
It's
Studios
Resident Evil
and
4
Armature
VR.
Studio are partnering
Oh,
to
Resident Evil
bring
4
Resident
VR?
Evil
Oh, dang.
4 to
Yeah.
Quest 2. We're thrilled about this game. We can't wait for you
This
to
guy's-
experience the world
This
of
guy
Resident
looks like he could be
Evil
my
in
brother.
a new medium.
I'm just kidding.
It's
I'm not that
immersive,
old.
comes
Dude
with
is
a
way older
first-person
than you. Stop it,
perspective,
dude.
and
You're
will bring
old, but
new
you're not that old.
richness and depth to the Resident Evil 4 experience you know and love.
Look at
You'll
that,
be
they're
able to
turning
step
cranks.
inside the game for the first time.
It's actually
Tune
pretty cool.
in
Not
to
gonna
the
lie.
Oculus Gaming Showcase next week, April 21st, for more details on Resident Evil.
All right, we'll call that good. I think they're just gonna go into the thing. So, but yeah, what do you think, man? Resident Evil 4 is getting a VR overhaul. What does that do anything for you?
The only Resident Evil game I've ever played in my entire life
Yeah.
was Resident Evil Biohazard. Like, not even gonna lie. Out of the
Resident Evil Biohazard. So, which one was that though? That's my
that
question.
was like, I think it was like a spin-off. I think it was like one about the that crazy family and
Was that the Resident Evil 7, the newest one that just came
yeah,
out?
yeah, I think it was that one. It was like the crazy
Okay.
family. And you
Yeah.
had it was a crazy one.
So-
I enjoyed it.
So it's funny. It's funny that they called it Resident Evil Biohazard because in Japan, the series is called Biohazard, and they named it Resident Evil for an American audience because they thought Biohazard would be too, I don't know, whatever, for whatever reason
Yeah.
the PR guy decided. So it's funny they literally named that game like the name of it twice. Resident Evil Biohazard is like saying Resident
Yeah.
Evil Resident. So it's kind of funny that they
Resident
actually
Evil,
named it
Resident
that.
I mean, dude, that game series has been going on for so
Forever.
long.
Yeah.
Like, damn, I don't even play them. I'm gonna be real with you. One, I don't even like scary games. I try to play Outlast, damn near shat myself.
Okay.
And then so I don't really play that. But I'm it's cool to see how far VR is coming. You know, hopefully in like the
Absolutely.
future when you're probably long gone, turned to dust. But I'm like your age. I'm just kidding.
It's all right. The running joke
But,
works.
But like whenever like we get more and more into the future, I
Yeah.
wonder if like you'll have like, I wonder if games will be to the point where you'll have like suits on, and like you'll just kind of like maneuver it with your like whole suit, little techno suit on.
I
You
don't
know,
know.
or something like that.
I think what you're talking about is going to go into more of the AR category, where you're out in a park or somewhere and you have AR goggles on and you just are playing a game, and it creates the environment around you, and you can still it's kind of using your surroundings.
You run into a highway and get splat.
Yeah, yeah, maybe. Well, if you look at the Quest is really cool because it does AR stuff too. So with the Quest, when you
Yeah.
put it on, you can actually see through it, and like you're seeing all your surroundings. And so you take the
yeah.
the thing, you look around you, and you actually paint the area that you're allowed to go in, and then the VR will not let you go outside of this little area that you have created for yourself. So
It's kind of cool.
yeah, it's actually really cool. I think VR is going to get. I think it's just going to get
Really?
more and more nuts. PlayStation has already announced they're making the PSVR 2 or whatever they decide to call it. Oculus
Yeah.
Quest is, I mean, if you are looking to get into VR, an Oculus Quest is amazing for that reason. I mean, you just put it on your head, you go, and there's no
Yeah.
wires, there's no bullshit. You just make it work. I've played one once. I played Beat Saber, and it's game changing. Not having those wires
Beat
with
Saber
VR
is
is
fun.
game changing.
Yeah.
Oh, Beat
Beat
Saber.
Saber is fun, but like the thing is about VR is, I mean, I've been fantasizing. I've fantasized about this too. If we could have like, like a Ready Player One type
Yeah,
thing, like
yeah.
that'd be so cool. Where you kind of just put it on and then you like control everything around you, feel everything. Like like imagine like a survival game like Rust. Imagine a game like Rust,
Hmm.
and you're actually feeling you're actually feeling everything. You're actually feeling yourself chop down a tree. You're feeling yourself
Yeah.
shoot a bow. You're feeling yourself shoot a gun with actual recoil, and all that stuff is like, I wonder how long it will take, till video games get to
I
that
feel
point
like
to
you'd
where you basically
actually.
just plug into the game. You're in the game actually,
Well, I
you
feel like you'd
know.
have to like legit for something like that. You'd have to have something that goes into your brain and like give you those feelings because you're not just gonna be able to like do.
Feel.
Yeah, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you'd almost have to be like jacked into something like physically for that to work. And I don't know who would be into that, but you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not. I mean, I love video games. I don't want to put a hole in the back of my head so I can feel like I'm somewhere I'm not. You know.
I would. If I'm 7 years old and I can barely move and all I can do is sit in a bed all day like
Okay.
Willy Wonka's
Okay. I see
grandparents
it.
or whatever, Charlie's grandparents, then I would love to be able to put a hole in my head and be able to run
Just
around.
go
Like it'd be like
anywhere.
Avatar,
Yeah.
you've seen the movie
Oh
Avatar,
yeah.
where the dude that has no legs and
Yeah.
can't even walk and he goes and turns into this blue thing and he's able to run again. Like, bro, if I was 70 years old and I couldn't do jack shit but sit in a bed and they were like, "Hey, old man, you want to plug this thing into your brain and be able to run and jump and do all sorts of crazy stuff,"
Yeah.
I would be so
Yeah.
down to do that. You don't even know. Like,
Did you
just
ever
be like,
watch that
"Hell yeah!"
show Black Mirror? Did you ever watch that one?
No, my parents watched it and they were telling me to
They
watch it.
they have an episode where it's like, okay, like they have this giant virtual reality world where right when you die, they upload your brain into it and then you think that you're in this world, but before you die, you can actually go visit it and see what it's like to decide if that's what you want to do. And like that's the idea that I'm getting in my head right here from like, but the thing is like it gets weird when it's like, okay, these people have been living in this computer for like 100 years. What the fuck are they supposed to do now? And things just get really super fucking weird. You know what I mean? Like,
Like, to be honest, it's like I wouldn't mind to do that. Like if they were like, "Hey, look," it's like, have you ever seen that Simpsons episode where they have like USBs in their neck and they
wasn't
can plug themselves into the internet? Like that's
wasn't
like there's
that
a
like one of the Halloween episodes? Something.
yes, it
Yes.
was.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was it was, it was something like that. And so basically, it's like you plug yourself into the internet. You're able to plug yourself and actually be in
Yeah.
the internet and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And
Absolutely.
so like that I've fantasized about that, to be honest. And honestly, if they told me that I would have to put this like thing in my brain stem or my brain or something like that, but I could physically plug myself into the game and I could feel everything that goes
That'd
on
be
in the
so
game and stuff
crazy.
like that. I honestly, honest to God, wouldn't mind that
That'd
because
be nuts.
the thing is if it's safe, if I know it's safe, and I could care less about the government knowing where I am. We carry something that the government knows. We
I
carry a
know.
phone in our pocket.
Yeah.
We carry a phone in our pocket. The government knows where we are
Yeah.
24/7. Let's be real. Um,
Also, if you have a driver's license, they know your address, who you are, what you've been doing. Like,
Pretty much. Oh, exactly.
but get a gun license.
Uh,
Whoa, 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 buddy, back off. That's my rights. But you can't have a
exactly.
driver's license and a cell phone.
It's like what AGU was saying, in the chat. The
Yeah.
technology for things VR has
Yeah.
already started.
Yep.
There's been saying you can feel yourself getting hair touch. It's like a chess piece at the moment that somehow
Yeah.
simulated different parts of your body
Yeah.
for how you feel things. So it's like we're already starting that
moment
basically.
that's
We're
like,
already and we're
wow.
already in that stage of we're trying to put the person in the game. And so like honest to God, if there was something that I would have to implant in my brain, if they were like, "Hey, this is 100% safe. We're going to put you in surgery, put something in your brain, you'll be able to actually jump into the game and your whole body will be plugged in." I mean, I'm going to go to work, do my job, get home, plug myself in.
Yeah.
Because to be honest, it's like taking yourself away from reality and exploring things that you never could do while actually feeling
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
And
absolutely.
so
That'd be nuts.
it's exactly, it's the difference between having a screen in front of you and feeling every little thing. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's not going to feel good if you get shot by a bullet, but I'm pretty sure you
I'm
won't
sure
actually
they'd
feel.
mute that
Pretty sure you won't
feeling.
actually
You know
feel
what I
like it'll
mean?
probably be like you probably feel it on your chest, like if you got shot with a bullet in a
Yeah.
video game. I doubt they're gonna be like, yeah, we're gonna make them feel like it's actually getting shot while their lungs are filling up with
Dude.
blood and they're gurgling for air. I doubt they're gonna actually make you feel that because I doubt anybody
Here's
was gonna be like, do
Yeah,
that.
they don't want anyone to feel hurt. Here's that website he was talking about. This suit, dude. Look at that. That's dope. Look at all the like haptic feedback, motion capture, biometrics. Look at where all the different
See,
things
that's
are.
exactly what I think too. That's exactly what I'm thinking.
Dude, that's
Like
dope.
something exactly like something exactly like that that puts you into the game.
Yeah,
Like a
that's
full
fucking
suit.
dope.
Remember how I was saying earlier? It's like I wonder how long it's going to take before we start like putting suits
Yeah.
on and actually putting ourselves in the game to where we actually feel things like that.
Uh,
I
Apparently
I'd
soon.
say our biggest limitation right now to fully being immersed in the game is movement. We
Yeah.
can't run into a wall. We would have to have unless you're planning on unless they plan on you buying a $400 treadmill
Hmm.
to like try to like run in place or
They
gyrosphere in
have
place.
those. They have those too.
I've seen it too. I've
Yeah.
seen
You
like
basically
video
put on a
games where you
belt
have
and you're in a thing and you kind of,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I've seen that video before where they have like a person actually running
Yeah.
in place and stuff like that. But like at what point does that become affordable for a family household? And at what point are we going to get to the point where
Yeah.
we're putting on suits, putting on a headset, and kind of like having our hands with gloves on, and
Exactly.
where we're able to feel everything? Because I know that the limitation would be movement. Like how are we going to move when I live in a
Well,
small room like
Oculus
this?
already solved
Unless
that too with what I was talking about earlier, where they were talking about how you could see through it. You paint that area, and the game
yeah.
literally tells you when you get near that area. It just pops up and goes, "Hey, you're out of your zone." So
I'm
that's
talking about like I'm talking about like a fully immersed like like let's say like a fully immersed where you are moving to where you don't have that barrier. Where I can like an open world game like Rust, where I can run through the fields,
yeah,
but actually feel me running through the fields. Like I guess you can try to run in place, but like stuff like that. It's like it's crazy.
no,
With
it's
everything.
nuts. VR is going to be the next big thing. I think the technology right now isn't quite there. If you've never done VR, I'd recommend trying it if you have a friend who has it, or if you, I mean, it's an incredible experience. It's absolutely, you can't really be told what virtual reality is like because it has something to do with that one-to-one movement that you're experiencing that really makes VR special. And so, yeah, I don't know, it's really really fucking cool. I like it a
And
lot.
just to kind of close off on that is
Yeah.
I feel like I'm just trying. I just picture in my head all the time how many like we see what it's like right now, like
Hmm.
50 years ago,
Yeah.
back in the 1970s. We had color TV. We had the first ever video game, which
Yeah.
was like Pong, and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And it's like, okay, 50 years from now in 2070, when I'm 70 years old, what's video games going to be like?
Jesus.
Like what is video gaming gonna be like in 50 years
Yeah.
when is VR gonna be the one thing that takes over and we're all kind of immersed in the video game,
They're
like
just,
that? Or is it gonna be like, are we still gonna be in front of screens? Like it's
who
crazy to think
knows?
about like
Who
what's
knows?
gonna happen to video games.
Well, and and there's not even like there's so many different avenues for it to go down. There's VR, there's mobile, there's AR, there's traditional. I mean, like there are so many different avenues that gaming could go down. It's unbelievable. It's crazy. And
Exactly.
even 20 years from now, I mean, think about 20 years ago, what were the games that were super popular? 2001. That was the end of the Nintendo 64 era going into PlayStation 2. Like Dreamcast had just come out. Like think about the graphics on that of
I'd
like
say look at
Dreamcast
50
or
years.
PS2.
It's gonna look
64. Like I think Majora's Mask was 2000, and look at how shitty that game looks today. So like, not that it's not a good
yeah.
game. Don't jump. I love that game, but it doesn't
That's
look
20 years
great on
ago.
the
And
64.
so to think that 20 years from now, what is gaming or like gaming graphics going to look like in 20 years from
Not
now? Is it
just
going to be
well. And have you seen the metahuman thing that Nvidia just came out with? Did you see that? Or no,
the
Unreal Engine, the Unreal metahumans.
no, I don't
Oh
think I
my
have.
God, check that out. Because basically, Nvidia says, hey, making characters is way too hard in games. Like Unreal, a company that we recognize and spending all this time pouring it into making, body models that look well, whatever. Here's MetaHuman. It'll basically just put a person together with you, completely customized. So average person even could go into MetaHuman and just make a person, and it looks fucking real. It's unbelievable.
That's crazy to think about, to be honest.
Yeah, it's crazy. Happy it's still not working. Dude, are you having trouble with Cloudbot? Do you run Cloudbot?
I use Nightbot in the stream elements.
You see, I use Nightbot and I use Cloudbot. My Cloudbot is being a piece of shit and hasn't worked for like a week.
I can give you the script. I can copy and paste my script that I use for Nightbot, and you can just do the uptime in there.
I might have to do that. Well, I have uptime. I have all that ready to go. But for some reason, it's not working through Cloudbot. Cloudbot is not even in my stream right now, and it's really pissing me off.
I'm not even gonna lie. I've never heard of Cloudbot. So.
Oh, Cloudbot is Streamlabs. It's Streamlabs bot. Yeah. So,
well, there's your first mistake.
Okay, and everyone's like, use Stream Elements. I'm like, nah, I'm good with. I like Streamlabs. I'm comfortable.
Stream Elements and Nightbot.
People's concerns. I could put the Elements bot in here, but Stream Elements bot in here, but I don't know. Anyways, too many bots already. So I want to get the Cloudbot working, but I use Streamlabs because I know a lot of people are like, hey, it takes away from your GPU power to use Streamlabs.
You should get one of those bots that you can customize the name of. You can just name it Dave Bot.
I could. I'd probably name it my bitch bot. You know what I mean? Hey, bitch bot, do what I want.
No, Dave Bot sounds cool. Like that sounds like a cool name.
Dave
like
There's
Dave
so
Bot.
much Dave already with my name.
Loud and Bot.
Loud Bot. This is my Loud Bot. His name is Frank. No,
Frank.
Okay. Frank. Yeah, you just call it Frank Bot. I don't know. Right. I have too much David going on in my life. I guess it's because my name's. I guess it's
your real name, right, David?
Yeah,
not
absolutely.
Dave.
This is my real. I am trying to brand my real name. No one else does it. No one else on Twitch brands their real name. This guy does. Because
I'm about to say, yeah, you brand your real name, which is very, very unique.
It
I'm not
is.
gonna lie.
I love
don't
it.
really see. I don't really see the person. I don't really see the many people branding their actual real name.
Asked Marissa about it one time. She's like, "Oh, I don't know if I'm gonna." I'm like, "I'm pulling it off. I'm doing it. I'm gonna brand my name." And so far, it's worked out pretty well for me. I feel like.
I just don't want nobody to know my last name, to be honest. Like, I share my first name. I don't problem. I have no problem sharing my first name is Javon, but like my last name is just like.
We all know it's because it's embarrassing because it's McGillicuddy. Okay, you don't want anyone to know you're.
My last name is Bartholomew, so
you don't want people to know your embarrassing last name.
Javon Bartholomew. I don't like that.
Oh, good God, no. Anyways, I'm chilling with my name. I thought it was a fun idea to like do something different because I was looking through all these names and like I used to go by Loud Dave a lot. And I didn't like that.
I guess it gives people more personal experience with you.
Exactly.
Like it makes people connect with you better. And I can completely, I completely agree with that. That's a good idea.
Well, it's cool that people just are like Dave. They just call me Dave on my stream. You know what I mean? And like I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
I mean, some people know my name to the point where they just call me Javon. They're just like, "Hey, Javon," and I'm like, I have no problem with that.
But it'd be like you branding that, you know what I mean? Like Javon Underdog or Javon Dog or something, you know what I mean? Like,
I
just think like at the end of the day for what I do and what I'm trying to do, especially with podcasting and helping people and this or that, I really don't care if you know my real name. You know what I mean? Like I want people to know like, hey, I'm cool with you, you're cool with me. Like I'm comfortable enough with people to know that, hey, even though it's my real name out there, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I feel you.
And that way it keeps you from getting too fucking weird because, like, I don't know. I feel like when it's your own actual name on the line, then you're not going to, like, do the dumbest shit ever just for attention. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people hide behind their monikers. They hide behind those names. And I don't want to be hiding. I want to be out in front of everybody. And that's why I do what I do with my name. So,
yeah. No, I totally feel you on why you do that with your name.
So, anyways. We gotta cut this. We gotta cut it. We had another topic planned, but
yeah, it's getting a little late, huh?
We'll do a quick shot on that. House of Dead. Does that do anything for you?
Are you talking about like the old arcade games I used to play?
Yeah, they're making a remake on Switch. Go look it up. It looks like fun.
What?
Yeah,
no
dude.
way.
Yeah, dude. Okay.
I used to play House of Dead all the time. Every single time I went to Dave and Buster's or something like that.
One last video.
By the way, how do you feel? Real quick, how do you feel about having a whole chain of arcade games named after you, Dave and Buster's?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, me and my brother Buster love it.
I was about to say, where's Buster at, Dave?
Buster,
come on now.
Me and my twin brother Buster actually invented Dave and Buster's back in 1862. me and him were sitting at a restaurant and we're like, it'd be way better if there were video games in this restaurant. And Buster was like, that's a great idea. And so then we created Dave and Buster's. You know what I mean? Wow, that is loud. Holy shit. But yeah, look at this. Look at that shit. Oh my god.
That's actually cool.
Oh, yeah, I love that
It looks just like the original game too.
And I think you have the cursor, so you use your Wiimote as a cursor and you shoot things.
That's actually pretty cool. It looks just like the original.
Yeah, it's
like that's
like
so
I remember
cool.
it. But
like
that's,
it's like better. It's like you know, up to date graph. It's not. I mean, the graphics aren't that great. Don't get me wrong.
yeah,
But it's like better graphics. It still kept the, you know, kind of like the cool little part of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like the cool arcade aspect. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's very arcadey.
The cool arcade aspect, and I love that. That's actually so freaking dope. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
They're doing it right. So that was our last topic. Go look it up. It's a lot of fun. We'll get into that. Maybe some other cozy. What's up? So
yeah.
Anyways, all right, guys, we gotta shut this down. Time to shut down the podcast. Let me go through my
Wipe the drives and shut it down.
Yeah, shut it down. And the funny thing, the little secret about it, if you watch this live, is I don't actually shut it down. I talk a little bit after too, but I gotta go through my things so that it's like ended through the podcast. And I literally just shut down my thing. So here we go. All right, we open it back up. So here we go. I want to thank all of you for watching this week's episode of Chatterday. Thanks to our guest, TheUnderdogs115. You want to tell us a little bit about your stream schedule before we go?
I stream Mondays through Fridays, depending on what time zone you're in. Mm-hmm. Mondays through Fridays, I start at 1 a.m. Central Standard Time, and I go to about 4:30, 5 a.m.
Nice.
Central Standard Time.
Nice.
So if you ever want to check out one of my streams, Monday through Fridays, late at night, I do middle of the night streams.
Cool.
So if you're ever up at night, got nothing to do, check me out. I have a lot of fun.
It's a lot like this. If you're up right now watching this, you should be watching Underdog. If you missed some of this episode, you can find it on YouTube. Just search Dave_Loudon. Don't have time to watch the video. I got you covered. Just type Chatterday into Apple Podcasts and SoundCloud, and you can listen to it there on your car ride home or in the shower or, you know, with your mom or grandmas. Grandmas and aunts love me. If you have any grandmas or aunts out there, go ahead and send them to my channel. They'll love all this. Make sure to like and subscribe, though. I hope you have an awesome day, and we'll see you all next Chatterday. Normally we stick around.
If your grandma or aunt is up at 3 o'clock in the morning, that might be a concern.
Yeah,
that might be a concern with their sleep schedule.
If you have a hot elder aunt, I'd be totally into that.
Oh God! Okay, can we end this? Jesus, Dave.
Gotta make it awkward or else it's not fun.
Okay, but the hot aunt, why are you so specific? Damn.